Okay, everyone, this here is a video and reviewing for your quiz. And in particular, the quiz is on evaluating trig functions and radians, which we've been doing for quite a while. So the very first question is I'll give you an ordered pair of point. Let's make this here -5, -12, and we're to graph that point and find the value of sine theta, cosine theta, tangent theta, and etc. So pause the video and see if you can do that. And when you're finished, play the video to check your solutions. All right, so I'm going to graph this point, -5, -12, and it sends me down here into the third quadrant. And this is the vertex of that angle passing through that point. And this is our angle theta in standard position going counterclockwise to the terminal side. We'll make our reference triangle right here, perpendicular to the x-axis, and this is x, and this is y. This is -5, and this is -12. Again, no length of a triangle can ever be negative. It's just that the displacement is 5 units to the left of the origin, and that's why we indicate that as a negative. And then down here, this is 5 units below the origin, so it's indicated as a -12. So we need to find r. So I'll just write out by Pythagorean theorem that the leg squared plus the leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. And I think by now we know this is one of our special right triangles, 5, 12, 13, and r equals 13. With that being said, we can complete our trig functions. Remember that on this quiz, we need to write out that sine theta is y over r, or -12 over 13. Cosine theta is x over r, or -5 over 13. And tangent theta is our slope, y over x, or 12 over 5. A negative over a negative we know is a positive. Paired up with sine is cosecant, so that's going to give us -13 over 12. Paired up with cosine is secant, or 13 over -5. And paired up with tangent is cotangent, or 5 over 12. So that's your first question. Number 2 is I'll give you some information about a trig function. Like, for example, tangent theta equals 2. And theta is in quadrant 3 again. So this time, you're going to have to draw. Let me actually take that away. Let's do, change my mind here. Let's do here that cosine theta. Let me change my mind here. Cosine theta is -1 over 3. And we'll put still in quadrant 2 though this time. Okay, so here is the problem. Cosine theta is -1/3, and theta is in quadrant 2. I decided not to use tangent because that's the same two sides again as above. So again, cosine theta is -1/3, theta is in quadrant 2. Graph theta in quadrant 2, label your triangle based upon this information, and find the remaining values of your trig functions. So pause the video and find the value of the remaining trig functions. And then when you're finished, play the video to check your solutions. Okay, so theta is in quadrant 2, and there it is. And this is the value, or the ratio x to r. X is -1, and r is 3. And anything vertical I'm going to call as y. So by Pythagorean theorem, y squared plus -1 squared equals 3 squared. So y squared plus 1 equals 9. And y squared equals 8. And y equals the square root of 8. And it is positive because it's in this second quadrant where y is positive. So remember, we got to be careful to label our signs. So always double check that anything vertical here in quadrants 1 and 2 is positive, and x here is negative. Signs have to be right. I'm going to start back always with sine theta is the ratio of y to r, so it's √8 over 3. And cosine theta is given as -1/3. And tangent of theta is y over x, or root 8 over -1. And paired up with sine is cosecant theta, which is 3 over root of 8. Paired up with cosine is secant theta, which is -3. And paired up with tangent is cotangent of theta, which is -1 over root of 8. So that's question 2. The next part, just evaluate. So again, after I write down each problem, pause the video and check your solutions. So number 3 would be, say, the sine of pi over 4. So pause the video and do the problem. Well, pi over 4 is in the first quadrant. It's 1 is less than 4, so you're either in quadrants 1 or 2, and obviously you're just a quarter away, so you're in quadrant 1. And the reference angle I'm dividing by 4 is pi over 4. So it's 1, 1, and root 2. Sine is the ratio of y to r, so it's 1 is y and r is root 2. Number 4 is the tangent of 5 pi over 6. Again, pause the video. So this angle is 5 pi over 6. 5 is less than 6, and it puts us in this quadrant right here. We're 5/6 away. We're dividing by 6, so the reference angle is pi over 6. And across from pi over 6 is the value of 1. The remaining sides are root 3 and 2. It's not 1, 1, root 2 because it's not pi over 4. But after I put the numbers, I have to make sure they put this sign here is correct. And it's the negative x-axis, so it is. Tangent is the ratio of y to x, so it'd be 1 over 2. Oh, no, 1 over 2. 1 over negative root 3. Okay, number 5, the tangent of pi. So pause the video. This time, pi is a quadrantal angle. So therefore, it starts right here, and it goes counterclockwise, and this is pi radians. There is no triangle when it's a quadrantal angle. The coordinates there are -1, 0. Tangent is the ratio of y to x. Y is 0, x is -1, and my answer is 0. Number 6, cosecant of 5 pi over 3. Again, pause the video. Okay, so 5/3. 3 goes into 5 once. 2 is left over, so that's 1 and 2/3 pi. So the 1 pi puts me this far. I have to go 2/3 more, which puts me here. And there is my triangle. Because I'm only dividing by 3 here, well, I'm dividing by 3, so my reference angle is pi over 3. And across from this is my root 3, 3 for a 3, 1 and 2. This is the negative y-axis, so I'll make that negative. Cosecant is r over y. It's paired up with sine. R is 2, and y is negative root 3. Let's do 2 more. Number 7, the sine of negative pi over 2. Pause the video. See what you can do. Okay, so where does negative pi over 2 put you? When we graph it, remember we start here, but that angle's negative. So we're going to go clockwise to negative pi over 2 down here. And it's a quadrantal angle, so therefore we're going to put the coordinates down there that they are 0, -1. X is 0, y is -1. And sine is the ratio of y to r. Y is -1, r is 1, so my answer is -1. Simply put, when it's a quadrantal angle, you could just say that sine is the y coordinate and cosine is the x coordinate. Number 8, let's do here the cosine of 5 pi over 4. So 5 is bigger than 4, so 4 goes into 5 once, and it's 1 1/4 pi. So then this is 1 pi, and a quarter more puts me here. And now this is my reference angle because I'm dividing by 4. And as soon as it's pi over 4, it's 1, 1, and root 2. But these are the signs. Cosine is the x over the r. X is -1, and r is root 2. And just one more on that note, number 9. Suppose we have the cosine of pi over 2. Pi over 2 is a quadrantal angle. It finishes up here. The coordinates are 0, 1. And cosine simply, when it's quadrantal, is the x coordinate. So remember your coordinates, 1, 0, 0, 1, -1, 0, and 0, -1. Those are the coordinates when it's quadrantal. Remember your angles are 0, then pi, 2 pi, pi over 2, and 3 pi over 2. Now that's positive angles that way. Don't forget negative angles this way would be negative pi over 2, negative pi, -3 pi over 2, and then back home to -2 pi. In the very last part of your quiz, we'll have some questions. Suppose f of x equals the sine of 3x. Find for me f at pi over 4. So all that means to do is just replace x with pi over 4. And I'm just going to evaluate the sine of 3 pi over 4. So where's 3 pi over 4 put me? Right here. So my reference angle is pi over 4. And my sides are 1, 1, and root 2. But it's negative down here. It's the negative x-axis, sorry. Remember, this is your angle 3 pi over 4. So all you got to do is in these is just replace x. You're just evaluating a function. Replace x with the value given. You had to multiply those. You just end up evaluating a trig function. A trig function in this case, sine 3 pi over 4, which is the ratio of y to r, and that's 1 over root 2. And we should know that how something like this simplifies sine of x times cosecant of x. So pause the video and see what you know what that simplifies to. Well, sine of x is y to r, and cosine of x is r to y, and they multiply to give me a 1. And it doesn't surprise me because of the fact a function multiplied by its reciprocal gives me 1. Okay? So again, I hope that video helps you review what your quiz is on again. I did reinforce to you those quadrantal angles, which are back here. They always use the coordinates. And then again, just be careful of your signs, that after you put the numbers down on your reference triangle, go back and double check the sign. This is the positive x-axis, positive y-axis, negative x, and negative y. So anything vertically down here is negative. Anything vertically up here is positive. And it can also just go positive, positive, negative, positive, negative, negative, and positive, negative. X and y are both positive. X is negative, y is positive. X and y are both negative. X is positive, y is negative. Okay, I think that should help you.